All right. Outside now that we're done with the boring bullshit libtard conversation revolving around Donald Trump. Okay. Let's get to the fun stuff. The real juice. Okay. Hogwatch. Let's get to people talking on Real America's Voice. This is a Trump attorney. Christina Bobb, which is hilarious. I mean, you're going to fucking really get an attorney whose name is Christina Bobb. 2 first names, by the way. Completely unacceptable. Never make a mistake like that. Straight up saying they planted evidence, okay? Hogwatch is on.
There was actually anything there that's worthwhile. We'll see what they come up with. You know, if they did, it'll be interesting, especially since they precluded me from actually watching what they did. But at this point, I don't necessarily think that they would even go to the extent of trying to plant information. I think they just make stuff up and, you know, come up with whatever they want. And that's the way that they will have to proceed in order to actually try to indict the president, because they don't have anything. There's just nothing there. So I don't think that there was actually anything there that's worthwhile. We'll see what they come up with. You know, if they did, it'll be interesting, especially since they precluded me from actually watching what they did. But at this point, I don't necessarily think that they would even go to the extent of trying to plant information. I think they just make stuff up and, you know, come up with whatever they want. And
So is this your lawyer, dog? You're going to jail, okay? That's a lawyer? What the fuck? Dude. Why does he still have like the most ambulance chasing ass fucking lawyers, dude? That is hilarious. Better Call Saul looking ass, literally being like, there's nothing there, but if there is, they probably planted it. That's insane. What the fuck, dude? Oh, that's great. There's no way. I don't want to believe. There's no shot, dude. Also, people saying like, oh, my lawyer's on TikTok, I'm going to jail. No, that TikTok lawyer would never. Okay? That TikTok lawyer gets people off of like straight up crimes. They'll be like, yeah, this is my client. He murdered children with his bare hands. And he was supposed to get 3 life sentences. And now I commuted that, and now he's out on bail, and he's fine. Actually, he's out. He's gonna be out on good behavior immediately after 12 days. Like, TikTok lawyers are on a different level. Okay, that's not even a thing. Anyway, but this rhetoric is not coming exclusively from Trump's lawyers. They moved on. Republicans yesterday in unison said this is something that only happens in banana republics, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. They kept saying it over and over again. And now they moved on from this is a banana republic. On the liberal side, you have liberals like really scaling back on their commentary, saying like, hold on now, we shouldn't get too excited. Maybe this is a nothing burger. On the Republican side, they're doing the exact opposite. They went from this is the grossest misconduct to saying maybe they're planting evidence. Let's take a look.
You really are now seeing the ugly face of a tyranny, and the left is so desperate, so frightened, and you're watching Trump win. Again, apparently the last votes came in, and his candidate beat another of the people who had voted to impeach him. So he's now, right. I think he's now defeated 7 of the 10 people
with a couple
that voted to impeach him.
That's right, Joe Kent.
And in one case, Kevin McCarthy talked him out of challenging Valadao because we wouldn't keep the seat. And I think Trump wisely said, okay, I'm going to give him a pass. The next big test, of course, will be Liz Cheney, who I suspect will lose by 20 or 30 points.
Yes.
And she's part of this. I mean, she is part of the effort to turn the system into basically a tyrannical, anti-conservative, anti-Republican, constant violation of the law, which is what the January 6th committee is. You have a fake committee being covered by the fake news with a fake FBI, which, by the way, you'll notice They didn't allow anybody on the Trump side into Mar-a-Lago. So we have no idea whether or not they planted evidence.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so fucked up because, like, normally, you know, when you're conducting a fucking raid, you're supposed to be like, hey, here's exactly when we're going to do that. Here's the time and place we're going to do it. If you want to hide all your files, if you want to flush them, like, go ahead. That's like what famously, the FBI is famous for being like, hey, we're coming over. Please flush all of the, you know, all the secret stuff that we're coming for. Please do that. What the fuck?
That's exactly right. And Newt, I have a couple thoughts. Number one, I wish I trusted our law enforcement. You need some form of law enforcement to have a civil society. But I'm right with you. I say, oh, they're planting evidence. How disappointing of a place we are in our country where our...
Bro, what the fuck? He said they're planting evidence. How disappointing that, like, it's gotten to a point where I think the FBI is planting evidence. Okay, well, that's in your mind, though. I mean, cops plant evidence all the fucking time. I don't see these motherfuckers ever complaining about that shit. They literally talk about how the Baltimore Police Department, famous for doing that, you know what I mean, is actually fine, and that's just a part of good policing, and they should be doing good policing, and it's just a couple bad cops or whatever the fuck. It's like, all right, when it's being done to, like, poor black people, okay? But the moment that, like, Trump gets just a knock on his door, everyone's like, whoa! These guys, they're planting evidence all the time. It's just so crazy that I personally believe this now. This is a thing that I believe in. It's great. Where were you when, you know, where the fuck were you? Where the fuck were these takes, you know, when this shit was happening? During the George Floyd protests.
Our immediate reaction is that our own law enforcement agency might be planting evidence against a former president.
Anyway, let's take a look at
former President Donald Trump taking aim at the Biden Justice Department over the unannounced and unprecedented raid
Fox and Friends.
That's right. Trump writing in a statement, quote, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida is currently under siege. The lawlessness, political persecution and witch hunt must be exposed and...
Hasanabi Entertainment seni fena sikti bu arada. Oğlum ne kadar salaksınız siz ya. Yemin ediyorum Allah belanızı versin ya. İnanamıyorum yani. Türkler bu kadar gerizekalı olabiliyor. Hala yani böyle bir kapasiteleri var abi. İnanamıyorum. Gerçekten inanamıyorum yani. Utan oğlum utan. Dallamasın yani. %100. Gerizekalıların önde gidenisin. Ama adın Elon Dodge zaten. Heh, götüne girdi inşallah o kriptokurrensiler. Seni çıkaracak o kriptokurrensiler. O şekilde sen Türkiye'nin ekonomisinin üstüne çıkabileceksin değil mi? Götüne girecek o kriptokurrensiler işte. Salak herif. Elon Dodge. Ananı sikeyim diyeceğim ama zaten ananı herkes sikiyor. Recep Tayyip Erdoğan sikiyor ananı. Ondan sonra Elon Musk sikiyor ananı. Ondan sonra Dogecoin sikiyor ananı. Hep sikiliyorsun. Ondan sonra oturuyorsun o diyorsun ki Andrew Tate fena sikti seni bu arada. Kimi sikiyor amına koyayım? Salak. Erdoğan Doge.
stopped. I will continue to fight for the great American people. Fox News contributor Laura Trump joins us now. Laura, wow. Good morning to you.
Wow.
Have you heard anything more from the FBI about why this raid took place?
We haven't heard anything more, Carly. You know, I think it's assumed that these documents in question, these 15 boxes that the FBI took yesterday, have something to do with the National Archives. It's a little interesting that you would need an FBI.
Do you think conservatives sometimes like have a hard time mixing up their wives for people on, you know, Fox News? Because like they just look the exact same. Like this is just a carbon copy of this. How does that work? You just watch Fox News and you're like, wait a minute. Is my wife on TV right now? What the fuck?
We haven't heard anything more, Carly. I think it's assumed that these documents in question, these 15 boxes that the FBI took yesterday, have something to do with the National Archives. It's a little interesting that you would need an FBI raid on the home of a former president in order to obtain those, especially when my father-in-law and everyone working with him was cooperating in lockstep with anything that they were asked for from the FBI and from any authority. So this seems wholly unnecessary. And I think the takeaway for the American people, whether you like Donald Trump or not, is that this is not just an attack on Donald Trump. This is an attack on every single American. This should scare you out there, whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent, no matter how you vote. Imagine this was your person that they did this to. Imagine this was former President Obama, former President Bush that got attacked in this.
Oh my God, you're getting me riled up, Laura. Tell me more. Sweet nothings, baby. Oh God, just keep saying that good shit. Oh fuck, I'm close. I'm so fucking close. Oh God. Oh baby.
The truth is, everyone knows why they are doing this. They are doing this because the establishment is terrified of President Donald Trump. He doesn't play their game. He is not one of them. It is highly likely that he will run again for president in 2024. They are looking for any way they possibly can to disqualify him. And this is a continuation of the witch hunt we have seen on Donald Trump from the day he announced he was running for president. They have pushed forward. Obviously, we know Russia collusion. Obviously, we know about the impeachments of Donald Trump, unnecessary impeachments. But then you look at what's happened since he left office. Attacks on anyone connected to him, attacks from attorney generals, from district attorneys. This is just a continuation of that. It is disgusting. This is not how we operate in the United States of America. You expect to see this from a communist regime, from a dictatorship. Certainly not America, and certainly not in 2022. It is disgusting, and it is disgraceful, and it should scare every American.
Larry, you just said it is highly likely that Donald J. Trump runs in 2024. The president posting this campaign-style clip on Truth Social overnight. Take a look.
Soon we will have greatness again. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. Because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and God alone. And it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again.
Lara, what did this raid on behalf of a glorified museum/library do to the 74 million voters who selected Donald J. Trump in 2020?
Well, man, it made them really mad, I can tell you that much. But it's also energized a lot of people. And I actually have heard from people since this happened who are not Trump supporters, who didn't vote for my father-in-law. They are just as angry as everyone else, and they are sounding the alarm bell as well and saying, if they could do this to Donald Trump, think about what they could do to the rest of us. I think it's only going to put more energy behind my father-in-law should he choose to run for president in 2024, because I think a lot of people harken back to the days of Donald Trump. How great.
They're using this as an opportunity to launch their fucking. They're using this as an opportunity to launch Donald Trump's like 2024 election campaign. You know? Which is why I hope that there's more to it than just fucking, bullshit like, oh, you misfiled or you stole, you took information that you didn't like personally declassify. Jesus Christ, dude. It's funny to see this from a different country. How are these people supposed to be news anchors? Like, what the fuck are these clowns? I mean, this is not a news anchor. She does look a lot like the news anchor, but ultimately, she is the wife of Eric, I think, right? You just made Yang's point, man. Ultimately, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter what, like, the Trump supporters think. They're psychotic. They're literally psychotic. Andrew Yang didn't qualify it by saying, I hope there's more information out there available. Andrew Yang said, it's unacceptable that the FBI is behaving in this political capacity. There's a difference between the two things. You have to understand that. If you've ever thought, oh, Andrew Yang's making a good point, stop. Take a deep breath and reevaluate everything. Okay? You're a fucking moron. Because he's a fucking grifter and a moron. Literally running on centrism as the forward party. Oh, yeah, because we didn't have enough of that in the Democratic Party. Thank God there's a brave centrist out there. God, it's such a stupid, fucking silly take, and people still go along with it. It just blows my fucking mind. Andrew Yang is like the Democratic Party and then plus UBI.
Great America truly was under his leadership, how far we have fallen under the leadership of Democrats and Joe Biden. Who has benefited from Joe Biden being president of the United States? Let's see, the Mexican drug cartels, terrorists in Afghanistan, China, Russia.
Oh, he's not even doing UBI anymore? That's fucking hilarious. So he's got nothing. He's just like, let's do the Democratic Party thing.
Iran, those are the benefactors of a Biden administration. People are sick of it. We need America first policies. We need to get this country back. Now more than ever, I think people want President Donald Trump to run again. And I think if he decides to run, he will win overwhelmingly.
Laura, only about
I mean,
20 seconds.
that second part, yeah, if Donald Trump does run again, I mean, he's popping off for sure. Like, that's true. Not because of the fucking FBI raid or whatever, but like definitely gonna pop off. Do hogs not understand that the DOJ operates independently from the White House? I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, come on. That's not, I hate that fucking take. I mean, in this circumstance, it might be true, but it's very hard for me to fucking believe that, like, in most situations, like, the White House doesn't have the capacity to nudge when you know that the prior FBI director, or the FBI director this time around, is quite literally, please advocate to build a wall on your northern border. Totally not biased Canadian here. When we know for a fact that the reason why this current FBI director is even there is because Donald Trump replaced the previous one. You know what I mean? Like, no, of course the White House has control over. The White House, of course, has control over the DOJ in a very meaningful way. Obviously, that's ridiculous. The idea that there's no cross-pollination and also some level of communication between these two agencies, between these two branches, is fucking silly.
Seconds remaining, but what happens today? Will we hear more from the former president on this front, maybe in person, a speech? What happens moving forward?
Thoughts on a Sahib Singh collab? I already DM'd him. We're going to do that. I didn't even realize he was like following me on Instagram, and I was like, bro, I'm a fucking huge fan. You should come on the stream. I'm going to try to do something like where we might just like both LARP, you know what I mean, as like conservatives, because he's very good at that.
Forward.
I don't know necessarily what he has planned. I know people would love to hear from him. I think we ought to hear from the Attorney General. Perhaps we ought to hear from the White House on this, because don't let anybody fool you. There is no way that Joe Biden and the White House did not have previous knowledge
100%.
of this happening. I can tell you that for sure.
Larry Trump, thank you. Fox and Friends now.
We are joined now by Republican Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina. He is here because he's the author of a new book. It's called America, a Redemption.
Why even bother watching Fox? It's so much better content, bro. Like, I've consumed so much American news over the last 4 years, and I still get astounded by the dumb fuckery of that country. Yeah, that's what makes it awesome, though. Like, that's actually what makes it, friend of the show, PFD, peak athleticism.
Trying to get out of breath.
PFD nails a 45-yarder on his first attempt. Look at that ass, bro. I mean, no disrespect, but respectfully. Now he can always talk shit. That's it. He made it permanent. He can now always talk shit if a kicker misses, okay? You fucking nail that. Anytime a kicker misses going forward, PFD can talk shit for the rest of his life. It's over. Because like most of the time, that's not the same. Nope, you're wrong. He's allowed. I'm allowing it. The in-game is different. Nope, y'all are coping. Yeah, but it's Barstool, so it's actually bad. Wait, what? Shut up. PFT's fucking awesome. You guys are so fucking stupid, dude. Like, oh, it's Barstool, so it must be everyone in Barstool has the same ideas. Like, yeah, exactly, dude. Not everyone at Barstool is bad. Also, Barstool is a gigantic fucking audience. PFT is awesome. Calm down. Where's the ninja tweet? I need to post this underneath it. PFT collab went soon. Hold on. The ninja kicker tweet. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I'm gonna post it underneath it. Yeah, where it is? Oh, here it is. Why can't you crop shit adequately on the dumbass desktop? Okay, there it is. Control Shift key. I know, it sucks. Windows' snipping tool is just inadequate. And anyone that tries to fucking use this to be like, dude, you're a boomer. You just don't know any better. Like, I don't know how to do fucking Win Shift key or whatever. Win Shift S is so fucking stupid. Like, I know. It's just, I'm still complaining about it because it's inadequate. It's not good. Oh, get ShareX. I know. I know. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It works. It still sucks. It is not a good. It does not have a actual good snipping tool. Why is it that so many of you fucking weirdos? Why is it that so many of you fucking weirdos are more interested in being like, dude, you suck. Dude, you suck. That you personally. That you personally will hold the L. Snipping tool is my wife. You said that about my wife. My wife. All right. Where were we? Oh, okay. Here it is. Off some of these. Attention, boomers for Loomer and villagers for Trump. Gas up your golf carts. We ride at dawn, says Laura Loomer. That's awesome. I love that. We already did dunked on Andrew Yang. Was this one? Oh. Okay, let's continue.
Story, Senator, good morning.
Thank you.
The book right here. It's a good read. I think it's going to connect with a lot of people. It's got 2 chapters on the former president, President Trump. You clearly have a good relationship with him. He's very nice to your mom.
Yes.
But we're at this extraordinary moment in American history where that former president is the subject of multiple investigations, and his home was searched by the FBI overnight. So I have to put the question to you. Do you still feel that he is the best representative of the Republican Party?
Certainly is the largest voice in American politics, period, Republican or Democrat, and it looks like he'll continue to be. The more focus you put on him, the more likely the supporters will rally around him. There is a huge divide in our country.
But wait a second before you go, Senator. That wasn't the question.
You said largest, which is largest objectively
voice.
True, right? He won a straw poll.
But do you still think
best representation?
Yes.
Well, I mean, the good news is I get to answer the question how I see that question. But the truth is that he is, without any question, the most powerful voice in all of politics. And that's why so many people, left and right, continue to focus on President Trump.
Yeah, but why this is such a dangerous moment?
Is Tim Scott based or cringe? No, he sucks. He's a Republican. 1, he's a politician, so he sucks. 2, he's a Republican politician, so he double sucks. Like, there's no... What?
Moment in our history, and a lot of people have pointed this out, is because we are divided.
Yes.
There are the wings of our government that are supposed to be nonpartisan, but now seem to be politicized. And one of those wings is the FBI. So do you think the FBI, do you still believe and trust in the FBI to do its job, even with a former president, in a nonpartisan way? Or do you believe, as the former president says, that the FBI is...
John hates him because he black. Yeah. Got me. That's a good one, dude.
executing a witch hunt?
Well, we've had the FBI before, the Judiciary Committee just in the last 2 weeks trying to figure out why they do what they do. And there's been lots of questions before this raid about whether or not the FBI is doing their job apolitical. And we don't know the answer to that question yet. This is probably
doubts about the FBI.
This is going to raise more questions, in my opinion. We need to let this play out and see exactly what happens, but we should all have been stunned and surprised and shocked at what happened yesterday. The real question is, A, what is the Federal Records Act? And B, what are we talking about? It has to be something of incredible magnitude for at least my side of the aisle to say that was warranted. Without that, I think we're going to find ourselves in a very big mess as it relates to the credibility of the FBI.
Well, so you don't have any concern that they're going to find anything at the Mar-a-Lago
Well,
state?
I think we should really, as opposed to rushing to judgment, the most important thing that we can do is let it play out, because I have no idea what they were looking for, and I don't think anybody knows what they were looking for.
On that point, I think it's interesting that as you sit before us today, you are not saying that former President Trump is the best representative of the Republican Party, and you're also not saying, don't worry, America, you can trust the FBI.
Well, I think that I am saying that I love my new book, and I'm conversation about why I'm giving second chances.
FBI Director Chris Wray was appointed by Donald Trump. We should point that out too. But
I mean, he's just like, bro, let me chill. What the fuck? Hey, let me chill. I'm here to sell a fucking book, not fucking give you sound bites for you to use over and over again against my big, beautiful, brave President Donald Trump, who I have said time and time again is not racist. It's so funny because, like, Tim Scott and other conservatives, black conservatives, at CPAC and at other events like this, play a very obvious fucking role. You could say that's racist, Hassan, all you want, but it's so obvious what role they play because that's all they talk about, which is a black guy saying that a very obviously racist person is not racist. Okay? That's precisely why both Herschel Walker and also Tim Scott, on every single platform that they've been on, when it's like the RNC or whether it's at CPAC or any of these like conservative fucking conferences, will literally spend like 5 to 10 minutes talking about how, like, I know real racism. I know real racism. I'm a black man. I know real racism, and Donald Trump's not a racist. Okay? That's it. That's what they use black conservatives for, okay? That's the job, the main job.
But in your book, you say, when it comes to President Trump, rather than try to soften his hard edges, you found it best to learn to utilize them. And on January 6th, you said it was a tragic day, a culmination of individuals making bad choices. You do not hold Donald Trump, in the book anyway, accountable for what happened January 6th.
Well, Gail, one of the reasons why your viewers want to buy the book is to get that behind-the-scenes view of what
Listen, I'm Black Hassan. Don't you think that most people are looking for racism today? Christian bathroom. Yeah. Nice bathrooms trying to become a commentator for the right, it seems.
Actually happened at the Capitol, as opposed to just hearing the media's account for it, which most were not inside the United States.
This is pretty funny because this is literally some Andrew Tate shit. He just straight up said, like, you know how Andrew Tate's always like, oh, get Hustlers University and you'll find out. It's a secret. He did the exact same thing. He's like, well, buy the book and you'll see the insider's look. Why are you giving it away? Spoiler alert. Okay, spoiler alert. I'm trying to sell a book here. If you summarize it right now, then no one's going to buy it.
Capitol, we can walk through how it feels to be hunted. You walk through rolling your sleeves up, taking your tie off, and literally asking yourself, what weapon can I find to defend myself until I die?
You talked about having
I had a pen in my hand, absolutely.
You talked about actually calming everybody down and say, look, everybody, let's just take a second. But I want to go back to Donald Trump's role in it for just a second. He has taken no responsibility for it. On January 6th, you heard from rioters who said, look, we went because he asked us to. We were there because he called us there. Doesn't the president don't his words have power? And shouldn't he be more careful with his words?
Yes.
He was encouraging people that he knew were armed.
Well, I don't know that anyone knows that the crowd was armed when the call to come to the Capitol was put out there, number one. Number two, I would say this, though. Every person has a responsibility of taking fully the decisions that they make and be responsible for those decisions. I think giving that to anybody other than the individual is giving the individual a pass.
But doesn't the president have responsibility too, Senator?
Oh, of course.
Some would say the most responsibility.
I would say that we all have the most responsibility for our own words. This is easy for us to put the blame on someone else.
Right.
But as the guy that felt hunted in the moment and watching my Senate colleagues look for a route to escape, one of the things you'll see in the book is how important it is in the middle of a chaotic situation to find peace, clarity, and then be decisive in going back out same evening.
It sounded terrifying.
Make the decision.
Can I talk about chapter 5 in the book? Because the headline is Tim Scott for President. I go, he's getting ready to tell us something. Tim Scott for President, the beginning of chapter 5.
Right.
And then you go on to say it's for President.
Bro, she read the thing. Like, it's kind of wild that she read the entire thing. Look at all the notes she took. I've never seen someone do this much due diligence for, like, the funniest thing is, like, it's fucking Tim Scott's book. That's wild, dude. I mean, god damn, Gail is cracked. I mean, straight up. This is
president of your high school. Tim Scott for president. Tim Scott for president.
Yes.
Then you go on to talk about it was a campaign that you ran. But it does raise a question. Many people think when you're writing
she's like a Tim Scott head.
a book like this.
Yes.
It's because you are thinking about running for president.
Certainly reads that way.
And your publisher apparently thought, you know, this guy's running for president because they wrote it in the front of the book in a message.
Talk to it. Let me share it.
Break it down for us.
Let me break it out right here for you. This is breaking news. Please listen carefully.
Okay, we're listening.
If you're going to run for president, you don't say in your book, according to my publishers, 2022.
That's right. They did make a typo error.
I failed
there.
civics, but even I got that part right. There's no presidential election in 2022. There is, however, a re-election campaign in 2022, and I am a part of that. So I'm looking forward to representing the people in South Carolina for hopefully the next 6 years.
I know, and you love South Carolina, blah, blah, blah. The people that love
South Carolina
blah, blah.
too,
We all
Gail.
understand that. But
Oh my God, what the fuck? Gail dropping the blah, blah, blahs. What is happening right now, dude? She's roasting him.
But what would it take for you to consider a run for president? Do you?
She's like, no, but like, she's not even roasting him. She's like, why won't you run for president? Like, I love you. Tim Scott, I love you. Stop with this nonsense. I want you to run for president. You would kill it.
Think you would bring something to the table that maybe other candidates don't have at this point?
I certainly believe that my best objective today is to make sure that I'm as successful as possible in my reelection. And as a part of my reelection strategy, it is to make sure that the voters and the constituents of South Carolina, whether you vote for me or not, see me as your United States Senator. Ultimately, you should not worry about what's next if you haven't finished what's now.
Right. Right. Now, this book is titled America, a Redemption Story.
Yes, sir.
This is a great country, but we've had some dark times.
Absolutely.
Where are we in our redemption journey as a country?
Yeah, thank God we're on the right path. And the last 50 years have been the best 50 years in this America's history. Think about the fact that we've suffered through a civil war. We had the Jim Crow South. My grandfather was born in 1921, and I talk a lot about his journey in the book. We also had the 1960s.
Yeah, dude, this is black guy wearing 1776 t-shirt energy. You just have to, you got to do it. You got to ride. You literally have to ride. There's nothing you can do. If this is your audience, and if you're a Republican representative, senator, like that is 100% your fucking audience, You just have to ride for 1776, which is a very weird thing to ride for as a black person, because 1776 implies that, like, your ancestors were not considered human beings at the time. It's a very weird dichotomy.
We had the challenges in the 70s. We had Rodney King in the 90s. Comparatively speaking,
the first slave owner was black. You're right, brother. Presidents are selected, not elected. Bloodlines are required to be president. You know this. President equals sacred bloodline. Oh my God. Gon ex Culua 777. I don't want to know how far down that fucking rabbit hole goes inside of your mind, okay?
We are in a far better position than we have been. We are not finished yet with the journey. There is much
Got a long way to go.
to do, without any question. But listen, we're also celebrating the fact that 3 out of 4 on this stage right now are of African Americans. We're talking about the fact that we've had an African American president, African American vice president. We've had a chief of staff who was an African American. We've had more success in the last 50 years than we had the first 190 combined.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's right. It's so funny how racist your chat gets when there's a black man who disagrees with them. But if he was saying what they wanted to hear, they'd be going, yes, King, Wakanda forever. I love when conservatives come into this community and make assumptions about how, like, we're just like every other libtard community. It's like, no, dude, I make fun of the Wakanda forever libs all the goddamn time, you dumb bitch. At least learn, like, try to fucking learn what kind of community you're in right now, okay? It's just try to understand it. But no, you don't want to, because your goal is just to be like, yeah, I got it. I got my licks in. I got banned. Dumbass.
And so we should continue to focus on what needs to be done while celebrating
what has been done,
what we've already accomplished
and
together.
as I point out, the American dream is never realized overnight. Not an event, but a way of life. One of the many.
Okay. Donald Trump hints at. Oh, here it is. So let's look at the top dog Hogwatch, of course. Donald Trump himself had a reaction to what was going on. Let's take a look.
In decline. We are a failing nation.
This is a video he played at CPAC.
We are a nation that has the highest inflation in over 40 years, where the stock market just finished the worst first half of a year in more than 5 decades. We are a nation that has the highest energy cost in its history, and we are no longer energy independent or energy dominant, which we were just 2 short years ago. We are a nation that is begging Venezuela and Saudi Arabia for oil.
God, he's so poetic, dude.
We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers, American citizens, and $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment in the world. We are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and it will only get worse. We're a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party like never before. We've never seen anything like this. We're a nation that no longer has a free and fair press. Fake news is about all you get. We're a nation where free speech is no longer allowed.
Yo, they put the account suspended in the sad. Dude, these things are not equal, okay? On the one hand, you have like Russia's invasion of Ukraine and all the death. And then on the other hand, you have real Donald Trump accounts suspended. I'm sorry, but it's fucking wild to put that on the same list of atrocities committed by like the demon rats, okay? It's far worse that Donald Trump's Twitter account was banned.
Where crime is rampant like never before, where the economy has been collapsing, where more people died of COVID in 2021 than in 2020. We are a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear...
What the fuck? Just a little stabby stab, you know? Just posting a random stab, dude. That's wild. Kind of like how Twitter stabbed me in the back, folks, when they decided that I, Donald J. Trump, could no longer have a Twitter account.
weapon, and China to use the trillions and trillions of dollars it's taken from the United States to build a military to rival our own. We are a nation that over the past 2 years is no longer respected or listened to all around the world. And we are a nation that is hostile to liberty and freedom and faith. We are a nation whose economy is floundering, whose stores are not stocked, whose deliveries are not coming, and whose educational system is ranked at the bottom of every list. We are a nation that in many ways has become a joke. But soon we will have greatness again. It was hard-working patriots like you who built this country, and it is hard-working patriots like you who are going to save our country. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. Ever, ever, ever. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never...
This is whack as fuck. I personally appreciate when he's like, when there's like, you know, guitar riffs playing and they try to make Trump look like sexy and like a big badass. This just makes him kind of look like a pussy. Like, oh, it's so sad. So sad what happened to this nation. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, stop fucking crying, dude. You're a bitch. You're a bitch. It's not top G behavior. Play fucking Sigma grind set music in the background and do top G behavior. This strikes me as a type of ad that comes at the top of the hour, right? And it serves to the bubble water drinkers, right? It's not top G behavior. Top G behavior is avoiding the top of the hour ads, right? Like Hustlers University. At the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, if you're a top G, if you drink bubble water, all you need to do in order to get a Bugatti is by subscribing. Which you can do for $5 or you could do for free with a Twitch Prime. Or if you get lucky, right? If you get lucky, you get gifted a sub, like Omnipotent Toad 90 just gifted 5 gifted subs, allowing Mirps gifted 5 gifted subs, and God's Third Leg gifted 5 gifted subs, allowing 15 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Tamana, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Here's the 1 minute ad break now.
Ever back down. We will never let you down.
Brace Scott, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
The tyrants we are fighting do not stand even a little chance. Because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and God alone. And it is time.
No, that's not true. As an American, I kneel whenever I see a cop, a brave boy or girl in the blue, and I suck them off. That's the only time I kneel. Smokey the Kid, thank you for the 5 gifted. John M. Herc, thank you for the 5 gifted.
Start talking about greatness for our country again.
The best is yet to come. Never give up, never surrender. There's more Trump shit to talk about. Here's an appearance that me and Will Neff made, or sorry, Hank Pecker and Will Neff made on Fox News yesterday.
The only thing crooked is Hillary Clinton. That's right. That's right.
Oh, don't to say her name, Demon.
You can't tell me that she's not going to swoop in late to this election and run. I'm not worried about no only thing.
That's right. Also, Steven Crowder is popping the fuck off. Does anyone have a Steven Crowder reaction? I want to see the Steven Crowder reaction to this. But before we get to that, here's the White House talking about how Biden did not know. How Biden did not fucking know. Dude, I'm not going to watch the real, like the Lil Bear edit in the middle of the news segment, okay? I'm not going to do that right now. We'll watch it afterwards, okay? I love you guys. Thank you, Lil Bear. You make great edits. But like you're trying to get me to watch that. It's like a 4-minute, 5-minute video, 3-minute video, whatever, in the middle of doing political commentary. Okay, we'll get to it. There's a time and place. Okay, time and place. On
a different topic, the FBI is serving a search warrant on the former president's residence in Florida. Was the president or anyone at the White House aware of that search warrant, or has anyone at the White House or the president been briefed?
There's timestamps in the video. Okay, we'll look at it.
No. The president was not briefed, was not aware of it. No one at the White House was given a heads up. No, that did not happen.
Is the White House at all concerned, given the domestic political climate, but also the signal that it sends to the rest of the world that the Department of Justice carried out this sort of operation on a former president, that it could even create the appearance of politically motivated prosecutors?
So first off, and you've heard us say this many times at this podium, you've heard the president say this, the Justice Department conducts investigations independently, and we leave any law enforcement matters to them. It would not be appropriate for us to comment on any ongoing investigations. I can say that President Biden has been unequivocal since the campaign. He believes in the rule of law, in the independence of the Justice Department investigations, that those investigations should be free from political influence, and he has held that commitment as president. I want to also remind you all of what he said on January 7th of 2021, when he then nominated Merrick Garland to be the Attorney General, and I quote, "We need to restore the honor, the integrity, the independence of the Department of Justice in this nation that has been so badly damaged, and so many former leaders of that department in both parties have so testified and stated that. I want to be clear to those who lead this department who you will serve. You won't work for me. You are not the president or the vice president's lawyer. Your loyalty is not to..."
Yeah. We get it, Jack. The Mac attack. He's so honorable. Okay, we got it. Yeah, it's God, dude, libtards are so permanently no content. It just sucks. Okay, I hate it. I hate it so much. My brother was one of the agents that raided Trump's home. He said it's related to Epstein and how he didn't run the top of the hour ad break. I already ran the top of the hour ad break. This has already turned up some Trump supporters like my dad into DeSantis supporters. RIP. Yeah, I mean, they see Trump. There are a lot of fake friends in the Republican Party, okay? And unfortunately, Trump has been impacted by fake friends his entire life and his entire career. Some people are going to see this and run. Run for the fucking hills, scramble, and choose a new leader, okay? People like your dad are fake. They do not care about the cause. They do not put their heart and soul into advocating for the supreme leader, Donald Trump. And that's fine. Your dad's fake, okay? You know, I'm a real one. I'm still riding with Trump. Fuck DeSantis, unless DeSantis becomes his vice president. You know what I mean? But yeah, there are some of the more moderate Republicans that probably will use this as an opportunity to once again reaffirm their commitment to like the institutions, because like Trump was, you know, tweeting really poorly and whatnot, and that presented the Republican Party in a negative light to the American people, and you know they couldn't be Republicans at cocktail and go through the same cocktail parties anymore. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. Because if Trump overcomes this, if they can't find something really devastating, if Trump overcomes this, Steven Crowder, tomorrow's worst league. Well, yeah. If Trump overcomes this, then like he's killing it.